Welcome, everyone. Today we are going to go over the lab safety lab on Science Interactive. First thing you always want to do is go in through the Canvas course. That's the only way you'll have access. So yours might look a little different, but you should still have a square box here that says PHT Online Labs. Click on that. And then we're going to go to modules. And then we're going to go to lab safety. And we're going to open it in a new window to take you directly to here. First thing we're going to do is hit test your knowledge. We're going to match each term with the best description. So tightly woven fabric used to smother and extinguish a fire. That should be a fire blanket. I can't actually drag them, but consists of absorbent material that can be ringed around a chemical spill until the spill can be neutralized. And that is going to be a spill containment kit. Device used to control small fires in an emergency situation. So we should know that's a fire extinguisher. Provides chemical, physical health, and safety information regarding chemical reagents and supplies. And that is going to be the safety data sheet. And the last thing, area containing an exhaust fan to expel noxious fumes from a laboratory. And that is going to be a fume hood. Now we're going to match each statement as true or false. So the first thing we have is always wear safety goggles, long shirt and pants, closed-toed shoes, and gloves when conducting experiments. And that is going to be true. Next, we have conduct experiments in a small closed-off room with no ventilation or water. And that is going to be false. Induce vomiting and drink copious amounts of water if chemicals are ingested. That is going to be false. Neutralize acid spills using sodium bicarbonate. That is going to be true. And then paper towels and water are a good substitute for a spill containment kit for this course, and that is true. All right, then you're going to view the video below to explore guidelines for safely performing experiments in a home environment. There is some student help guides here. It gives you the link to the student help site and the student safety page. All right. So as you perform the lab exercises, always follow experiment procedures and instructions for cleanup and storage. Items in your lab kit can be especially dangerous to children and pets. Always conduct experiments away from children and pets and safely store equipment out of their reach. Your lab kit may contain chemicals and formulas that can cause burns if mishandled and serious illness and or death if consumed. Never consume materials used in the experiment. Follow experiment procedures carefully. Your lab kit may contain small items and materials that could cause choking, injury, or death. And many items are made of glass or have sharp edges that pose potential risks for cuts and scratches. And if you're doing this by now, you should have already received your lab kit. So we'll go to question time. So your laboratory kit may contain small items that can be choking hazards, chemicals that can cause burns, and sharp objects that can cause cuts. That is going to be all of the above. We just read that. And here you can explore personal safety precautions and just read through these. And we'll go to question time. So, eating, drinking, or smoking during an experiment is never allowed. And you should get the answer from that paragraph, which is true. Now we're going to read about exploring proper lab attire and PPE. And then we're going to hit next. Now we have explore guidelines for home lab spaces. Then we have explore first aid. So a first aid kit, it gives a description of a first aid kit, which you should know by now. An eye wash station is used if your eyes are exposed to a microorganism or if a harmful chemical is splashed into your eyes or face. In your home, use the nearest sink and flush your eyes or face with cool water for at least 20 minutes. If the sink has a sprayer, use it to rinse your eyes or face while making sure the water drains into the sink. And safety showers, they are used to remediate exposure to large quantities of microbes or for large chemical spills. At home, you can use your bathroom shower. Okay, question time. So at home, a bathroom shower is the best substitute for a laboratory safety shower. And now we have exploring safety data sheets. And it gives you a link to finding the SDS on their website in case we need it. And then we'll hit question time. A safety data sheet contains information about first aid procedures, required protective equipment, and health effects. And that is going to be true. Next, we have explore chemical handling hazards. So you can read through this and go through the hazard diamond and the pictograms. And then we have explore preparing for fires and fumes. So I'll read through that. Watch this video. It's only 52 seconds long. To taste the smell of a substance, partially fill your lungs with air, and while standing slightly back from the fumes, use your hand to waft the odors gently towards your nose. And that is true, and that's what the video shows. Next, we have explore responding to spills in broken glass. So we have chemicals, acid splatter, and chemical spills. You can read those in glassware. Read through those. And shattered glassware should never be handled with bare hands. Use a broom and dustpan to clean up broken glass if that happens while you are doing your experiment. Then we have explore use, cleaning, and disposal instructions. So I'll let you read through that. Hit next. Then we have in case of emergency. So safety risk exists in all science experimentations and should be taken very seriously. If you or anyone who has access to your lab materials ingest or have a chemical splash on their skin or eyes and need assistance, you can contact poison control. So there's the web tool, the phone number, and the website. I'm gonna hit next. And then you should see review your answers. And then you're going to test your knowledge again with this table we did. And then you're going to test your knowledge again with this table we did. So again, again. And then yours should automatically take you to the experimentation overview. So yours should take you automatically into this experiment. So it's telling us the materials that we'll need to use. So the only thing we need for this lab is pen or pencil and a sheet of paper. and yours should take you directly to this. So exercise one is home laboratory review. You'll identify home substitutions for lab equipment. So fire extinguisher, spill containment kit, these things here. And how you're going to put in your answers, if you remember from getting started, is in the data table. So you'll fill in all of these. I'll be there for you, and you'll put in the function, what it's used for. So like fire extinguisher used to control small fires. There's no substitution. And then you can kind of go through that. Mm. And then we should be at exercise one questions. Which safety items are you currently lacking in your planned work area? What is your plan for acquiring these items before using your kit? So one thing I just want to say is do not go out and buy anything extra for your lab kit in terms of, well, really anything but for your work area. You shouldn't need it. You obviously want to make sure that you're doing it in a safe environment, not around kids, not around pets. Um, Making sure that you have a sink near you, and things of that nature. Obviously, you're going to have a shower in your house and all that stuff. Um, so don't make a plan to acquire anything. Question two, what location have you selected for conducting science experiments in your home? So you'll just, whatever room or where you plan on doing it. What, if any, changes do you plan to make to the location before using your kit? And we'll hit next. So exercise two, you're going to select number one in the animation below. So you can hit begin. And we are going to find all the hazards. So this one, what is unsafe about this picture? What is the correct lab procedure? Record your answers below. So you're going to record your answers into the data table. You're going to put the safety hazard for each number and then the correct lab safety procedures. So like for this one, the bag and the floor. So all walkways and floor space in the lab area should be clear. Obviously, you're doing this at your house, so just make sure, you're working in a clean environment. This lab kind of is a little bit more geared towards if you were going to go in and work in a lab. So let's close that. Let's just click on these here. What do you think is wrong with number two? Well, he has an open flame. So, and he has a beard there. So that's concern. Three, what is unsafe about that picture? So we shouldn't leave any spills on the ground. Where's four? Four, we have an open flame again with paper left underneath it. Five, we should not have drinks or food in the lab. Six, looks like a chemical spill. Let's see, after six. A container of flammable liquid has spilled and been left on the lab bench next to open flames. All right. Let's see what other ones we have. Seven looks like broken lab glass or open pest tube. Eight. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that this guy eating a sandwich is a hazard. 12. Looks like he has an open flame. Wasn't wearing goggles, maybe. I seen them go on the class. Yeah, so a scientist is performing an experiment without proper eye protection. And then 9, we have an open flame left by chemicals. It's been left unattended. And then 10, no animals should be in the laboratory. 11, he's not using the correct weighting procedure. And which one did I miss? All right. So all of that you're going to fill in here in your data table. And when you're ready to, when you've entered everything, all you have to do is hit that down and it will go back down here. And then we are now at exercise 2 because you should have done all that when you had your data table open. Identify 3 potential hazards in your planned work area for performing science interactive experiments and describe the safe practices associated with each potential hazard. So if you have anything that you think that so if you have anything in your work area that you think might be a hazard, you can list that. If you don't have any, just say you don't have any. You can also include potential hazards and how you might fix them. Question 2, describe how you plan to secure your work area and lab kit from children and pets. Hit next. Now we have safety data sheets, exercise 3. It gives you the link for sodium hydroxide. You can read through this to get the answers for your information that's going to go into data table 3, which is these things that you're going to look for. And then we have exercise 3. So describe 3 sources for SDS related to chemicals provided in science interactive lab kits. So finding the SDS on the Science Interactive website. So remember I opened this earlier. And here's all the different safety data sheets. So that link is in there. Searching safety data sheet in the name of the chemical on the internet or requesting more information from your instructor. Question 2, how can you determine the proper disposal protocols for remaining chemicals in your kit? So you can check the SDS as well as you should dispose of the chemicals in compliance with applicable laws, including state and local rules, regulations, and or ordinances. Then you're going to go read through this. There's 19 conditions of the safety agreement. You will open up the data table and do the I agree for both 1 and 2. And then we should be at evaluation. So we're at the last part, evaluation. Before you proceed, did you complete all the required exercises and assessments in this lesson? If not, please return to the previous section to finalize your work. So just make sure you're always taking care of all the data tables and answering all the questions. If you miss the data tables and the questions, you're going to have to meet with your lab instructor to make sure you have an understanding of what you didn't do. and that's going to be very time consuming. So just make sure that you are submitting everything that you need to. We're going to go to start evaluation. So chemicals in a lab may potentially cause, when we have blank if mishandled or consumed. And then we have burns, serious illness, and death. I think the answer is going to be all of the above. When conducting experiments that include vigorous exercise, consult a physician first or ask a partner to assist in participating if you're unable to do so. That would be true. But you should not need to do that. There's nothing physical that you need to do. The blank should be contacted immediately if you or anyone accidentally consumes or comes in contact with a potentially toxic substance. That, of course, is going to be the National Poison Control Center. When working with acids, always blank to avoid chemical splattering. And that is going to be add acid to water, and you shouldn't have any acids that you're working with, I don't think. Acid spills can be neutralized by adding baking soda. A blank can be used to douse a fire. So we have fire extinguisher, safety shower, fire blanket, and fire extinguisher. So I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably all of the above. Normal eyeglasses may be worn to substitute for safety goggles, and that is going to be false. A blank expels noxious fumes from a laboratory. That's going to be either fire blanket, fume hood, or spill containment kit, or all of the above. And that should be fume hood. A sink, faucet, or handheld shower wand are appropriate substitutes for an eye wash station. That's going to be true. The safety data sheet provides basic information about health effects, toxicity, physical data, safe disposal, and health effects and toxicity. So that, of course, is going to be all of the above. And what actions should you take if you accidentally break an empty test tube during an experiment? And you're going to want to dispose of the glass in a protective container and then place it in the trash. However, I don't think there is some glass products in the tube, but there's not any test tubes. Then we're going to go ahead and hit finish. It's going to give you a review of these answers. Then we're going to go to extension questions. So a student taking an online lab course is only able to perform their science interactive kit experiments in their workplace, which is an office building. So apply your knowledge of lab safety and proper workspace characteristics to suggest a location within the office for the student to conduct their experiments. So if you think about an office building, there's more than likely a kitchen or a break room. That would probably be the best area to do your lab kit experiments if you had to do it at your workplace. Some of the safety and proper workspace characteristics are going to be the same as if you're doing them at home. So you're just going to want to make sure that no children or pets, they shouldn't be in the workplace. Anyway, get into your kit, any coworkers getting into your kit and thinking the bottle of red syrup is, cherry or something of that sort. Just use your imagination. All right. And then when you're done with that, you should see this screen, the examination certification form. So you're going to go ahead and hit I agree to the statement, hit submit. And then for you, it is going to give you the final report And then it's going to ask you if you want to fully submit and that you cannot unlock your lab after hitting submit. So that is how you know that it's been fully submitted when you do that. You do not need to upload any of the PDFs to any of the assignments. That is not necessary. We can view it all online. And also just an FYI, if you comment on the lab in the comment section, we actually cannot see as a comments for the labs because they're not set up like normal assignments. So if you don't get a response that way, that is why. So just make sure you reach out to your instructor. And if you have any questions, just let one of us know and we'll be glad to help you.